can't come to the phone right now. I'm listening to Party Talk Podcast.
Welcome to the Party Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Cooper Kaimig, back with Chris Kaimig. Today's episode is going to be episode 3 of the MLB. We're going to be ranking right fielders, our top 10 right fielders heading into the 2024 season. Chris had the number 1 pick last week, so I get to start off with arguably the best player in baseball with Ronald Acuna. Yep, I'm going to take him first. He's coming off a historic MVP season, so I'll easily take him first. He had 217 hits, 41 home runs, 100 RBIs, 73 stolen bases. Let's take a pause real quick. Chris, you're a little bit older. When's the last time you saw somebody with 73 stolen bases in a season?
Vince Coleman of the St. Louis Cardinals. Years ago.
Yeah.
Harp ran him over in the playoffs. But, Acuna's just dead.
Yeah. So, yep, he had 73 stolen bases. He hit an average of 337. His OPS was 1,012. As great as he is, I do expect his numbers to regress a little bit because those are numbers we haven't seen in a very, very long time. But I still think he's going to be the best outfielder in the league. So, yep, I'll take him number 1. Who you got number 2, Chris?
First off, I don't think those numbers are going to regress.
You think they're going to get better? You think he's going to have a better season?
Yes. He is scary good, and he's cocky too, and I kind of like it. I'll take another cocky player out there off the second pick, Fernando Tatis of the Padres. He's not quite up there with Acuna, but he could be if he puts it all together. He's a first-round talent, so I take him the second pick. He missed the first 20 games last year, so he's with that suspension that he had for PEDs, but he still finished with 25 homers and 29 stolen bases. And most think that was a disappointing year because he's had up to, I think, 43 home runs that one year. But most preseason predictions have him as a 35 homer, 30 stat line to go with 100 RBI. So I'm happy with him in the number 2 slot.
Yeah. Just speaking on Tatis, you talked about the suspension. The year before, would he break his wrist riding a motorcycle or something? He was out for a while. So he hadn't played baseball in a while, and he had a great season. He's kind of a sneaky pick for MVP. I do like Corbin Carroll a little better, but yeah, I love Tatis. But who you got third?
Another guy that's just a stud. I mean, by the time I draft, none of these guys are around. Maybe Tatis might sneak to me at the 12th pick this year, but I know this guy will be gone too. But I'm going to take Kyle Tucker of the Astros. Another surefire first-round pick, probably top 5. He just missed out on a 30-30 season by 1 homer. And I didn't know this until I read a little bit about him. But he did get a homer on his final day of the year. But the official score ruled it a triple and an error.
Oh, man.
He fired. Did you ever hear that story?
I haven't.
I either. But it would have been his 3rd straight year of 30 homers. But that dingbat changed the official score. I think I better YouTube that and go watch that and see what I think. But since they moved him in a better spot in the order, he's up to like 3-4 now, back behind some of those other studs, Altuve and Alvarez. But he's going to have back-to-back home run, 30 RBI, 100 RBI seasons, including American League high of last year, 112. He's as consistent as he comes. With a new manager on board and Dusty gone, there's talk of moving him up in the 2 slot, but I think he's sitting pretty good at 3-4. But those are 2 studs. I mean, 3 best players in baseball probably right there.
Yeah.
Playing this position.
All right, so with the next, I'll rank Adolis Garcia as the 4th best. He's coming off arguably his best MLB season. He had 39 home runs, an OPS of 836, 136 hits, 108 runs. He did help carry the Rangers to a World Series. One thing that was very surprising that regressed was his stolen bases. So in 2022, he stole 25, but in 2023, in a season where stolen bases were at a historical level, he only stole 9. That's a huge difference. But other than the stolen bases, I don't know what to expect from that. I do expect him to have a similar or even better season. Earlier on, the Rangers might need him a little more if Corey Seager is out. But, just watching him in the playoffs, he can rise to the occasion. So I'll easily take him 4th. So 5th. 5th is more of a projection. I know that's kind of what we're doing here, but it's also a homer pick. I'm going Jordan Walker. The 21-year-old is someone who didn't get enough credit last year. He had a pretty good rookie season, given how bad and terrible, the St. Louis Cardinals circumstances were. I've been a guy who's watched every Cardinals game every night, no matter what I'm doing. I watch it, and it was a journey in 2023 to get through all the games. But, yeah, I mean, he had 116 hits. His average was 276, an OPS of 787, in only 117 games. He was a horrible fielder in the beginning of the year, but I remember my first year playing outfield when I was a kid, and it didn't go very good. After the second half of the season, he did improve vastly with his fielding abilities. I know he's been working pretty hard this offseason. You got to remember, he's only 21 years old. And honestly, I think Jordan Walker has a breakout season this year with 30 home runs, and he becomes a household name. So I'll take him 5th.
Hey, with those new glasses, you probably would have done a lot better, huh?
Yeah.
Play field. You should have said something, man. But all right, the sixth pick. Didn't know a lot about this guy, but I kind of did a little research on him, and I'm going to go Josh Lowe of the Tampa Bay Rays. He's only 26. He's starting to enter his prime this year. His first full season, he ended up with a 20 homer, 30 stat line in only 135 games. They like to play matches on that team, so hopefully he'll get a few more games this year. But there's a lot of leagues last year he wasn't even drafted. I think I picked him up on waivers only to drop him a week later, just because they started platooning him. And I said, I can't wait to pick on this guy. But ESPN has projections of him going 30-30 this year. I think he needs to get that. He needs at least 150 games. So if you have the 6th pick and he's there, I'd grab him too. All right. Then I'm going to back that 6th pick up with the 7th pick. And this guy's landed in a gold mine. He's Teoscar Hernandez of the Dodgers. He played 160 games last year, and that's pretty good for the Mariners. He finished with 26 homers and 93 RBIs. He's going to be batting somewhere in the middle of that stacked Dodger lineup. So I can see those counting stats just going through the roof. I don't see Jason Hayward overtaking him anytime soon. So I think Teoscar Hernandez is a pretty good pick there in the 7th slot.
Yeah, and I mean, with how good the Dodgers lineup is, it's pretty lefty heavy up at the top, so they're going to need a right-hander kind of in the middle, so that should help his counting stats as well. All right, my 8th ranked right fielder, I'll take Seiya Suzuki. He had a pretty solid 2023 season. He hit 285. He had 150 hits, 20 home runs, an OPS 842. If we take a look at Seiya Suzuki's underlying data, almost the whole stat page is red. His chase rate or his chase percentage is 91 percentile, top of the league. His expected batting average, his average exit velocity, and his hard hit percentage are all 80 plus percentile. I love what Seiya Suzuki did in his 2nd MLB season. He came overseas, and it was only his 2nd season. The only thing that stunk about it was he dropped that ball in right field that kept the Cubs out of the playoffs. I'm happy about it.
I'm happy.
Yeah, we're pretty happy about it. But yeah, I love Seiya.
You know what his splits were last year? Because I remember him getting dropped in our farm league, and he just sat there for at least a month, and nobody picked him up.
Until I did.
Oh, you picked him up?
Yep.
But he was terrible the
He
first
started
half.
off pretty slow. And then I remember, I don't know the quote, I don't have it in front of me, but I remember they gave him like a mental rest. They gave him a couple
Yep.
days off, and then he just went crazy ever since. But
It was like almost 3-4 days, I think.
yeah. So I'll take say an eighth, and then with the ninth, I'll take Nick Castellanos. Surprisingly, he had one of the best years of his career in 2023. He hit an average of 272, hit 170 hits, an OPS of 788. He had 29 home runs, which is actually the second highest in his career. I do expect this Phillies team to be even better. I know they started pretty slow last season. I think Nick Castellanos, in the middle of this Phillies lineup, he should have a strong 2024. Who you got with the last ranked right fielder, Chris?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with George Springer of the Blue Jays. Really don't want to do it, but he's 33. He's getting up there in age. He did have his first 2020 year of his career, which is awesome. But he had a career low, and his average was 258. He also had career lows in OBP and slugs. So I think his days as a fantasy star are over. But it's getting kind of, the top half of this right field is stacked. The bottom half, you can see it dropping pretty quick. But I guess I'll go with Springer.
Yeah, he's been a pretty steady guy, and I think he's a good 10th ranked, right fielder. We had to put him on the list. But yeah, so that'll rank our top 10 right fielders heading into 2024. We'll be back next week we'll do third base rankings. We'll rank our top 10 third basemen. All right, we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.